God is speaking to you right now because you've been sensing something that you couldn't quite explain, something you felt in your spirit long before your mind could understand it. You've noticed the way He looks at you one moment and then withdraws the next. You've noticed how His eyes soften when He thinks you're not paying attention, how His words sometimes slip, how He almost tells you the truth and then stops Himself. And deep down, you've wondered, what is He hiding? Why does He act like He cares, but never fully says it? Why does He pull close only to step back again? Why can't He just tell me what He truly feels? God says He has been hiding something, not from cruelty, not from deception, but from fear, confusion, and wounds He has not yet healed. He has been holding back emotions that are real, deep, and aching within Him, but He has not allowed Himself to admit them aloud. His silence has not been emptiness, it has been a storm inside Him. And you have felt that storm, even without words, because your spirit has been picking up what His mouth refused to say. God is about to uncover everything He has buried, everything He has suppressed, everything He has pretended not to feel. The reason God is speaking to you this way is because He knows the emotional weight you've been carrying. You've been wondering if you imagined everything, if the connection was all in your head, if your intuition was just wishful thinking. But God saw every moment your heart tightened because of mixed signals. He watched you trying to interpret every gesture, every silence, every almost confession. He saw how you questioned your worth because someone else couldn't speak their truth. He knows how exhausting it has been to love in uncertainty, to give patience to someone who never gives clarity, to wait for someone who won't admit He's waiting for you too. God says the truth has been buried under layers of fear, fear of vulnerability, fear of rejection, fear of losing control. He has been wounded before, and those wounds made Him build walls He doesn't even realize He's hiding behind. He cares more deeply than He knows how to express. He loves in a way He can't put into words. He feels emotions He is afraid to name. That is why His actions and His silence contradict each other. That is why He acts like He doesn't need you, but something in His eyes tells you He does. That is why He steps close and pulls away, not because He doesn't feel anything, but because He feels too much. God is about to uncover what He has been hiding, not by force, not through chaos, but through divine alignment. Something is coming that will pressure the truth out of Him. A moment where His heart can no longer stay silent. A situation that reveals His real intentions. A circumstance that exposes His vulnerability. He will not be able to pretend anymore, not after what God is about to do. His truth is reaching a breaking point. His emotions are becoming too heavy for Him to carry alone. And God will use this season to remove every excuse He's been hiding behind. There will be moments when you sense His walls starting to crumble. You'll notice how He lingers when He talks to you, how He hesitates before walking away, how something in Him seems restless, shaken, almost unsettled. That is God softening His heart. That is God working from the inside out. That is God preparing Him to speak the truth He never had the courage to admit. This man has been hiding love like a secret he's afraid to lose. He has been holding affection like something fragile he isn't brave enough to handle. He has been watching you with a mix of admiration and fear, admiration for the person you are, fear that he isn't enough for someone like you. He admires your strength, your kindness, your consistency, your spiritual depth. But part of him doubts that he could ever be worthy of a heart like yours. So instead of speaking his truth, he stays silent, hoping his actions speak for him even when they don't. God wants you to know that you have not been imagining the connection. You have not been misreading his intentions. You have not been creating stories in your mind. The truth is there, it's just hidden beneath layers of emotional avoidance. God is preparing a way for the truth to rise to the surface, because the season of confusion is ending. The season of silence is ending. The season of pretending is ending. What God is uncovering is not just his feelings, it's his soul. This is deeper than romance. This is spiritual. This is part of your journey, part of his growth, part of what God has been shaping behind the scenes. God has been working on him in ways you cannot see. He has been healing old wounds, breaking old patterns, tearing down internal barriers. He has been whispering to his heart in moments of quiet, reminding him that he will never receive the love he desires if he keeps running from vulnerability. God has been convicting him, softening him, pulling him closer to truth. And soon, he will feel an undeniable urgency to express what he has held inside for so long. He will reach a point where silence becomes heavier than confession. God will bring him to a moment where he must choose between fear and honesty. He will choose the truth, not because he suddenly becomes brave, but because God will remove every place he once hid. God will illuminate what he tried to bury. God will make it impossible for him to continue pretending that he doesn't care when his heart has cared all along. But God is also speaking to you about your part in this. You must stay grounded. You must stay aligned. You must stay discerning. Because even when the truth comes out, you need spiritual strength to handle it. You need wisdom, not just emotion. You need clarity, not just desire. You need to be prepared, not for drama, but for depth. Not for games, but for honesty. Not for illusions, but for reality. God wants you to know that when his truth comes, it will not be perfect. It will be raw. It will be vulnerable. It will be messy. He may struggle to articulate himself. He may stumble over his words. He may confess more through his eyes than his voice. He may not say everything at once, but he will finally begin, and that beginning will change everything. Your heart has been patient for a long time. But God is about to reward your patience with revelation. He is revealing hidden emotions, hidden intentions, hidden fears, hidden desires. You are about to receive clarity, not confusion. Truth, not guessing. Honesty, not mixed signals. This will not be the kind of confession that leaves you uncertain. It will be undeniable, unmistakable, unfiltered. God is lifting the veil. The truth is coming. The emotions he hid are rising. And God is saying, prepare yourself, because what he has been hiding will soon be spoken aloud. Everything is shifting. The silence is breaking. His heart is awakening. And God is uncovering the truth you were always meant to see. There is a reason your spirit has not been able to release him, even when your mind tried to convince you to walk away. It wasn't attachment, it wasn't obsession, it wasn't fantasy. It was spiritual sensitivity. Something inside you sensed that there was more beneath the surface, something hidden that God had not yet revealed. You felt a pull toward him not because of what he showed you, but because of what he didn't show you. Because the truth inside him was louder in the spirit than his silence was in the natural. And God allowed you to feel that because he knew the truth would matter in the seasons ahead. You are connected to him in a way that goes beyond words, beyond logic, beyond surface-level explanations. He tries to stay composed around you, but his emotions betray him. His heart reacts before his mind can shut it down. That's why he gets quieter around you. That's why he fumbles when you look at him. That's why he avoids eye contact when the conversation gets too personal. He isn't trying to disrespect you, he's trying to control a feeling that feels bigger than him. He's trying to suppress a confession that is slowly becoming impossible to hide. God is revealing that his silence has been a battle, not a rejection. He has been fighting himself, wrestling with emotions he didn't plan to feel, questioning why he can't just move on, why he keeps returning to you in his thoughts, why he can't explain the connection no matter how hard he tries. He cannot detach from you because his heart never wanted to. He never stopped caring, he simply stopped expressing. He never stopped feeling, he simply stopped confessing. But the emotions remained, quietly, stubbornly, persistently. God saw all of it. He saw the nights this man laid awake, replaying conversations with you, wondering if he should have said more, wondering if he should have been braver, wondering what could have happened if he didn't hold back. He saw the moments when your name crossed his mind at the most unexpected times. He saw the way his heart reacted every time he thought of losing you. And even though he outwardly acted composed, inside he was breaking under the pressure of what he refused to speak out loud. Now God says it is time for the truth to surface because he cannot allow both of you to remain in emotional limbo. He cannot allow uncertainty to dominate a connection he has been shaping. So he is shaking his heart awake. He is stirring emotions that this man tried to bury. He is bringing to the surface things that were hidden for far too long. And when God brings something to the surface, it cannot be pushed back down. There will be moments coming where you notice him acting differently, less guarded, less distant, less calculated. His reactions will become more authentic, more vulnerable, more revealing. He may accidentally express more than he intended. He may slip into honesty without realizing it. He may mention things you said months ago, proving he never forgot. He may show concern in ways he never allowed himself to before. This is not coincidence, it is conviction. God is softening him. This man has been emotionally blocked for a long time, unable to let anyone close enough to see the real him. But with you, he couldn't block the connection. He tried. God knows he tried. He told himself it was nothing. He told himself he could ignore it. He told himself it would fade. But every time he pushed the feeling down, God pushed it back up. Every time he tried to convince himself to move on, God reminded him of what his heart truly wanted. Every time he tried to run from the truth, God sent something, a memory, a thought, a dream, that kept pulling him back. God is about to expose not just his feelings, but his fears. He fears losing you. He fears disappointing you. He fears being compared to those who hurt you. He fears he isn't enough. And these fears have kept him silent. But God is going to confront those fears head-on. He is removing the spirit of fear, the spirit of hesitation, the spirit of emotional paralysis that held him back. God is cleansing his heart so he can stand before you with truth, not fear. Soon, he will reach a point where he can no longer pretend that his feelings are small. He will no longer be able to hide behind logic or excuses. He will no longer dismiss the emotions that God is forcing him to confront. What he hid from you, he also hid from himself. But the time for hiding is over. God is calling him forward. God is calling him into honesty. God is calling him into emotional maturity. And God is preparing him to finally speak the truth his heart has carried for far too long. You will see signs before the full confession comes. You will notice a shift in his tone, a warmth in his voice, a softness in his presence. He will be more attentive. He will be more thoughtful. He will check in more often. He will struggle to hide how affected he is by you. You may even see him become protective, in ways he hasn't shown before, because emotions buried too long cannot stay buried when God decides it's time for revelation. And when he speaks, whether in one moment or over time, his words will confirm everything your spirit already knew. The love he hid. The longing he denied. The feelings he suppressed. The truth he avoided. God is bringing all of it into the light. You are not waiting in vain. You are not loving blindly. You are not imagining the connection. You are walking into a season where God reveals the full truth of his heart, piece by piece, layer by layer, moment by moment, until nothing is hidden anymore. God is moving in ways you cannot yet see, and part of what he is doing right now is creating situations that make it impossible for this man to keep suppressing what he feels. You will notice that the very things he used to hide behind are starting to fail him. The excuses that once sounded logical will begin to feel empty, even to him. The distractions he used to run to will stop soothing him. The emotional walls he built for years will no longer shield him the way they used to. God is not punishing him, he is positioning him. He is positioning him to face the truth, not just about you, but about himself. There are conversations coming that will shake him internally. Something someone says, something he hears, something he sees will strike his heart with unexpected force. It will confront him with the reality that he cannot continue living in emotional denial. God is orchestrating moments that speak directly to his soul, moments that awaken dormant feelings, moments that force him to acknowledge that what he has with you is not normal, not casual, not accidental. He will begin realizing that he has been hiding not because the emotion was small, but because it was overwhelming, and God is finally giving him the courage to face that overwhelm. For a long time, he believed that staying silent kept him safe. He believed that not expressing his feelings protected him from disappointment, rejection, and vulnerability. But God is allowing him to feel the cost of that silence, the heaviness, the emptiness, the unspoken longing, the regret that grows in the spaces where truth is absent. He will start to feel the emotional emptiness around him more sharply. He will notice how no one else affects him the way you do. He will realize that his feelings for you don't fade, they intensify. This realization is not coincidence, it is divine intervention. God is challenging every part of him that once rationalized staying distant. The spirit of fear is being uprooted from his life. The spirit of avoidance is being dismantled. The spirit of emotional withdrawal is being confronted. God is preparing him for honesty, and honesty requires transformation. He cannot stay who he was and speak the truth he has been hiding. God is reshaping him from the inside out, gently but firmly, so that he has the spiritual and emotional strength to step into the truth instead of running from it. There will be moments when he behaves differently and tries to act like nothing is happening. But inside, the shift will be undeniable. He will become more restless when he hides from you, more uneasy when he distances himself, more emotionally stirred when he thinks of you. His heart will feel pulled in your direction in a way he cannot ignore. God is making his spirit restless until he aligns with the truth. This is the divine pressure that precedes revelation. God is also revealing something else. He has been praying too. Maybe not out loud. Maybe not consistently. Maybe not in the ways you imagine. But God heard the silent prayers lodged in the quietest parts of him, prayers for clarity, for healing, for the ability to open his heart. He doesn't always understand what he feels, but he knows he feels something, and God is drawing him toward understanding it fully. This man is not cold, he is guarded. He is not uncaring, he is overwhelmed. He is not dismissing you, he is trying to calm emotions that refuse to be calmed. God wants you to understand this so you don't walk in frustration but in discernment. You are not dealing with someone who lacks emotion, you are dealing with someone who fears the depth of his own emotions. But God is working on that fear. God is replacing fear with courage, confusion with clarity, hesitation with conviction. There will be a moment, unexpected, quiet, unplanned, where the truth will slip out of him. He may not give you a dramatic confession. He may not articulate everything perfectly. But something honest will break through, and once it does, it cannot be undone. You will hear the sincerity in his voice, the weight of what he has been holding, the vulnerability he was afraid to show. You will feel the emotional shift. It will be subtle, but unmistakable. God says to prepare your heart, not for disappointment, but for revelation. Prepare not for confusion, but for clarity. Prepare not for more silence, but for truth. You have been in a season of waiting, but you are entering a season of unveiling. What he hid is being uncovered. What he suppressed is rising to the surface. What he felt but never admitted is about to be spoken in one way or another. Do not rush the process, and do not question it. God is orchestrating every step. He is guiding both of your hearts. He is aligning the timing. He is softening the atmosphere. And soon, you will see the transformation you have been sensing in the Spirit. The truth is coming, slowly at first, then more clearly, more boldly, more openly. And now God says the moment you have been sensing, praying about, and quietly hoping for is drawing near. Not because you forced it. Not because you demanded clarity. Not because you chased after him. But because God himself is orchestrating the unveiling of truth. You have carried the weight of uncertainty long enough. You have walked with questions that never received answers. You have held on to a connection that often felt one-sided, yet your spirit refused to let go because God was not finished with the story. The final part of this journey is not about forcing him to confess, it is about God preparing both of you for the truth in a way that strengthens, not shatters. God does not reveal feelings prematurely. He reveals them when the heart is ready, when the timing aligns, and when the truth will bring breakthrough instead of confusion. And now that time is approaching. This man is about to reach an emotional point where hiding becomes impossible, not because he suddenly becomes fearless, but because the truth has grown louder than his fear. For so long, he believed he could control what he felt. But the more he suppressed his emotions, the more intense they became. The more he avoided the truth, the more his heart drifted back to you in moments he least expected. And God allowed this cycle because he wanted the truth to take root so deeply that no fear could uproot it. The final stage of his transformation is unfolding quietly inside him. He is beginning to realize that he feels safest when he thinks of you. He finds clarity around you that he does not find anywhere else. He feels a peace in your presence that he cannot explain. He feels convicted when he distances himself. He feels restless when he ignores what God is showing him. He feels the pull toward you even when he tries to resist it. This is not a coincidence, it is divine alignment. What he has been hiding is no longer a secret to God, and soon, it will no longer be a secret to you. But God is not only revealing his feelings, he is also healing him from the root causes of his silence. He is confronting the parts of him that believed love always ends in pain. He is healing the wounds that taught him to suppress rather than express. He is removing the emotional baggage that made him feel unworthy of being loved in a real, honest, vulnerable way. This healing is deep, internal, spiritual, and it is necessary, because God will not allow him to come toward you with half-healed wounds or half-spoken truths. In this final part of the revelation, God is aligning his heart with courage. You will notice him becoming more stable, more grounded, more self-aware. He will start taking responsibility for the walls he built. He will begin understanding why he hid his feelings. He will recognize that silence was not strength, it was fear. And he will want to do better, not just for you, but for himself. When God uncovers his feelings, it will not be chaotic. It will be intentional. It will come from a place of sincerity, not pressure. It may happen in a quiet conversation, in a vulnerable moment, in an unexpected confession, or even through actions that speak louder than words. But when it happens, it will be real. It will be undeniable. It will be honest. And when the truth finally comes, it will confirm everything your heart already sensed. Every instinct you doubted. Every tug you felt. Every sign your spirit picked up on. God is not revealing this truth to confuse you, he is revealing it to bring closure where there was uncertainty, clarity where there was guessing, healing where there was emotional tension. You will not have to beg for explanation. You will not have to chase answers. You will not have to force honesty out of him. The truth will find its way to you because God himself is bringing it. And when it comes, it will feel like a release, like a weight lifting off both of your spirits. You will finally understand why the connection never broke, why your heart never fully let go, why the silence felt temporary. Because it was. But here is what God wants you to remember in this final part: when His truth comes, you must listen with grace, not judgment. His confession may not be perfect. His words may tremble. His emotions may spill out in messy, unpolished ways. He may not share everything at once, but He will share enough to shift the entire dynamic between you. And your response will shape the next chapter. God is preparing you to hold truth with wisdom instead of reacting through old wounds. He is preparing you to discern not just what He says, but what His heart reveals. He is preparing you to see Him not as someone who hid from you, but as someone God is transforming. And He is preparing your spirit to recognize that this revelation is not an ending, it is the true beginning. The season of hidden emotions is closing. The season of clarity is opening. The silence is ending. The truth is rising. What He hid is about to be revealed. And God is standing in the middle of this divine unveiling, guiding every word, every moment, every shift. You are stepping into the part of the story where everything finally makes sense, where confusion becomes understanding, where silence becomes confession, where hidden feelings become spoken truth. God is uncovering what He hid, and your heart is about to receive the clarity it has waited for. The revelation is coming. And when it arrives, it will change everything.